So, welcome everyone to our Tao Wellness Evening. This is our introduction to the Tao Calligraphy field. My name is Laurie. I am one of the co-owners of Satori Family Wellness Center that sponsors these sessions. By profession, I am a psychologist. However, I am serving in the as one of the a Tao Calligraphy teacher, as well as a Tao a master teacher with the Tao Academy. And any information that we share here should be taken for general information to just educate yourself. And it should not be a replacement for your own medical or healthcare, mental health decisions. So always consult your healthcare provider before making these decisions. But we hope that this can help you, as we found a lot of support from many of our students and clients in the Tao calligraphy field. And actually today, I thought that we'd be doing is we are going to tailor our session to, we are going to do a check-in, our usual check-in for those of you who have been here with me before for our monitoring gauges. And as Father's Day is coming up, I thought it would be a very powerful time to reflect on the importance of the paternal line. And sometimes as we grow up, we may experience some wounds according to the paternal line. And I thought that we would introduce some healing with not only the Tao calligraphy field, but also with some spiritual fathers that you may connect and resonate to, giving you a taste of what might come at our workshop that we will have about honoring our paternal line and spiritual fathers. And just wanted to give you a preview of some of the things that we may be covering there. And so again, we will do some healing in the field and then just talk about some next steps. So I would like you to take this opportunity to check in. You can notice how you are feeling today. Okay, welcome. So, and notice how your thoughts, emotions, bodily symptoms or sensations, and a reflection on your past actions and behaviors for the last week or since the last time we've met. And we want to do this reflection and assessment for ourselves with compassion and non-judgment. Okay, we want to just notice and be aware. Awareness is the key for healing and transformation for any wellness program. For if we're aware, we have the opportunity to then make the decision to get back in balance, to heal or transform any of these areas that needs attending to. Right? So some of you may have shared some maybe health things that you're working on. So even though we are talking about the paternal line and wounds, we might have an understanding of sometimes some of the patterns or challenges that we have recurring that may actually manifest in our bodies, right? So with like respiratory things connecting with, our the metal element, our lungs, our respiratory system. And Dr. Gina, who usually speaks once a month, shares great information on the 5 elements, as well as my mother and Chiemi, who are also co-presenters during these evenings. So just allow yourself to check in. What is it that you are wanting support in? And maybe you can find if there is a connection to some family or paternal wounds. And if not, when we are going into the field, you can still attend to that area that you want some healing and transformation for. Okay. So check in. You can give yourself a number from 0 to 10 where you are. And notice where you may be holding it in your body. that just gives us clues to what's coming up for you and how your body gets affected by your thoughts, by your emotions. Okay. So in talking about our main topic for today, significance of our paternal line or paternal lineage, which would be our father's side. Each side, we did the mother's line before last month, but each of our paternal line, right, each lineage carries ancestral energy. And paternal line in particular, because of paternal and fathers are usually known as more of a yang, right? More of a strength and more masculine energy. It has the messages that could carry messages of strength, guidance, protection, and more, right? It could have both yin and yang qualities, but a lot of times that message of strength and protection come through. And sometimes if there are some unhealed wounds, they may create some patterns that we may hold, whether consciously or subconsciously, around fear, control, distance, or instability, or other areas. And honoring our paternal line and attending to them invites this healing, this balance and empowerment, right? Some of us may feel like there is a pattern of distance or disconnection, of depression or whatnot that could come through our line. And just being aware. And we're going to use the Tao Calligraphy field and some of the tools that we talk about today to help to transform and bring in positive messages to heal, balance, and empower us. Tao Calligraphy in particular we'll be using to connect with this ancestral love and release some blockages and bring light to our paternal lineage. Okay. So some of you may be familiar with this wound chart. And I've talked about some of these wounds in some other sessions in the past. I think I've covered each one of them in my self-care and service practice with the Love, Peace, Harmony field. There is a playlist on our YouTube channel that you can, watch to get a bit more information. But this is just a recap of the wounds by Liz Bobo. She is like a spiritual teacher and really works with the bodies, and have in her work have found that we may carry each of these wounds. It could be from maternal side, paternal side, but many of us may carry these wounds. And each of this wound area may correlate with a resulting pattern. She talks more about masks. So in our past sessions, we talked about the mask that we might wear when we have a certain wound. But I'm putting it in the sense of father figure, right? So sometimes we might have certain expressions or things that come down, whether it's coldness or denial, absence or neglect, shaming, broken trust, or harshness, right? So we might have had some of that expression some of the time by a father figure. And a lot of times we might have a wound, we might say a soul wound, which results in a certain pattern of whether it's feeling unworthy or like the rejection or fear of being unsupported, whether it's a deep shame or some people pleasing or some control issues, anger issues, or overachievement and some resentment. So many of us may have some of these feelings, and you might know maybe it may be connected with a wound that we may or may not be aware of. We've talked about some subconscious mind messages in the past too, and these wounds may cause or may be related to some of the subconscious messages that we might be holding that no longer serve us. So we want to really focus on this healing and transformation. So these are some paternal line healing and transformation with some spiritual fathers. So I'm introducing a few here, but in our workshop that we will do next week is on the 21st. We will go over a bit more. So I'm just giving an example of some of the wounds, the healing quality, the spiritual father, a spiritual father that can be connected with it. And I'm just writing down the tradition, culture, maybe from. So in terms of like the first wound, I will actually just focus on the first one, but I'm giving you an example that, because you might really feel like you want to work on another wound. So like rejection, like the healing quality would be really love, knowing that you're unconditionally loved. Okay. And one of the spiritual fathers that we can connect with, a very popular one, is, Christ or Heavenly Father, whichever one you resonate with. And of course, each spiritual father can heal any wound. Okay. We're just connecting, and in my meditation and in preparing, this was one that came up that could support us in this wound, right, in this area. For abandonment, it could be like safety issues, like healing quality, feeling safe, protected. Kane or Kanaloa from the Hawaiian tradition. I was seeing both of them, and in our workshop, we might focus just on one or give some information about, the both of them, because they do work together. And like betrayal, healing quality of integrity. And Shakyamuni Buddha who is also known as Gautama Buddha or Shijamuni Fu in different language or traditions, like Chinese is Shijamuni Fu. And from the Buddhist tradition, right? So you might want to see and connect with any spiritual father that you'd like, whether they are on this list or not. Some of you already may have one that you hold near to your heart, and just connect with that. If you don't, these are a few spiritual fathers that you can think about and see if you would like to connect and work with them. Okay. And what we're going to do today is integrate that wisdom. So I'm thinking at this time, why don't we go back? I'm going to go back to this and allow yourself to, we're going to do a short meditation to just have you connect. Okay, so I want you to just close your eyes and connect with your own heart and soul. And as we had gone over some of these information about the wounds, notice if any of them speak out to you, like you feel like, this, I resonate with this. Like I feel like I may have some patterns or a wound in this area, okay? Whether it's rejection, abandonment, humiliation, betrayal, or injustice. And just notice how you might be feeling in your body with that. Okay. You could also just focus, if you don't have one, just focus on the first one, rejection, because we all may have had some sort of rejection in our lives, whether it's from peers, siblings, colleagues, boss. You may have had a sense of rejection, right? And sometimes that affected your self-worth. So if you can't think of one, you can use the first one. And I think I will probably focus on this one for our practice today. But if there's one that really is like shouting out to you, like, you can attend to that one. Okay. And notice where you might be holding these messages in your body, whether it's the feeling unworthy or unsupported, feeling some shame, or some control or anger issues, or feeling resentment, or like a perfectionistic or overachievement type of pattern. Just notice where you might be holding that in your body. Okay. And I want you to just connect with a spiritual father of your choice, whether it's one of these on the chart, or any other spiritual father. In our workshop, what we'll be doing is actually for those who register for themselves and to others, we'll actually give you a reading of your paternal line strength that you might carry, and also a spiritual father that has come to help support and guide you, for they can come to help guide you and help heal and transform you. We've done this with our maternal line, and it was be very helpful. So just allow yourself to connect and feel this love and light, okay, from that spiritual father. And we're also going to use the Tao Calligraphy power, okay? And why we're going to use the Tao Calligraphy power is that we believe that Tao Calligraphy is a source field of pure light, frequency, and vibration, and a high level positive information, okay? It carries high frequencies of messages of love, forgiveness, compassion, light, and more. The 10 greatest qualities. And when we trace or write calligraphy or meditate with the calligraphies, we can bring and connect with these high frequencies and positive messages to help clear negative information and enhance positive information related to our area of concern, whether it's our paternal line wound and the corresponding area in our body that's being affected. So for those of you who are coming in with a certain health or mental health condition, sometimes by connecting, you might be able to even connect it with maybe a message or wound that you've experienced that is connected with that, right? So we talked about, like, a lot of times when we have in the 5 elements, a lot of sadness or grief, middle element, or wood, anger, right? The wood element. The fire element is like depression or anxiety. Worry is the earth element, right? And again, we mentioned deep grief and sadness, metal element associated with the lungs, large intestines, and the water element, which is like fear. Okay, so you might resonate with one of these emotions, connecting with one of the elements and organs. And with the Tao calligraphy field, we can connect with these higher frequencies that can help us to heal certain areas, whether it's in our body and related to our paternal line. Okay. And in particular, writing calligraphy ourselves can help us to deepen this level of transformation. For as we write or trace sacred phrases like the I, or greatest love, we can connect to high frequency positive information. And writing, I feel for myself, really helps me to go deeper into connection with the Tao calligraphy power, message, and channel of Tao calligraphy. So, and also as I was using my Tao calligraphy writing this past week, I could feel a lot of times we may have subconscious messages, wounds that actually can come up in our writing that we may not be aware that may be showing up. But then it gives us something tangible, right? Something that we can see, that we can then be aware of, and then allow ourselves to connect with this higher frequency to then help to rewrite that message. So as we write and correct that writing, as we trace the calligraphy, again, we're connecting with this higher source that can help clear that negative information. So let's do it together. So I will have this. Okay, so spotlight. Welcome. So for those of you who want to participate with the Tao calligraphy writing, I will write Tao Calligraphy. And for those of you who have joined me and know a bit of writing, you can follow along. If not, just allow yourself to experience the message of the calligraphy. And also, you could also practice too by connecting. You can use your brush and just allow yourself to just trace and go through. You can write. If you have your brush, great. If not, you can just imagine that you're holding a brush. Imagine like you're writing in the air or writing on yourself. And this way you can still stay connected to Tao calligraphy writing. Okay. And hopefully join me in one of the classes to continue that journey. So I want you to just think about, let's have you just think about where you're wanting to bring in that positive information. If you felt like there is a wound within you in the message, again, notice where you might be feeling it. And, okay, great. So thank you, Brittany. She shared that information of our event. And before I write, I'm going to just have you see. We're going to do the heal wound. We're going to work on the rejection wound, okay? So again, if you had another wound, that's fine. But for those of you who could not decide, I will focus for you on the rejection wound. And Da, I am going to just kind of write. Da, this is Da here. And I'm just make sure. Okay. And I. And how many of you felt like this message of rejection might be something within you and would want to be a demo for this part? Okay. Let me know in the chat. Okay. Okay. Or you can unmute as well. But if not, as we mentioned, one of the spiritual fathers you can connect with is Jesus, right? Christ, our Heavenly Father. And we're also going to pair this healing with the spiritual father. So again, feel the presence of the spiritual father. You can do this on your own to really help offer a blessing. You know, you can offer prayer. So this is one way that you can help yourself and connect with the spiritual father to help clear paternal line messages. And just allow yourself to just feel that right now. Okay. And we're also going to add with a Tao calligraphy. Okay, so this is a Tao calligraphy written by Dr. Master Shah. It is in his books. He has 2 books that it's in that you could use this calligraphy for your own healing and transformation. One is called Tao Calligraphy to Heal and Transform Depression and Anxiety, which is the yellow cover book. And the other one is the Tao Calligraphy to Heal and Rejuvenate Your Back. So both of them have similar information, but different calligraphies to support. But both of them have this Tao, Da'i, greatest love. Okay. So let's now write greatest love. So as we're writing, for those of you who are familiar, you could just write Da, and that would stand for greatest love. I want you to really feel the light, connect with the Tao calligraphy of greatest love. Some of you have different authorities or appointments to be able to write calligraphy as a Tao calligraphy practitioner. You can connect there. Some of you may have Tao hands. And if you're new to all of this, don't worry. Just allow yourself to feel the frequency vibration. We're going to bring in the Tao calligraphy message and light. Okay. So is there anyone that would like to volunteer and wants to be the demo just for the Tao calligraphy writing? We'll see. I'm going to do it for rejection wound. I want to share just anyone who's willing. Sure. Okay. Okay, so I can't see if anyone's raising their hand or not. Okay, so Asha mentioned I would be honored to be a demo. Okay, great. So Asha, um, wonderful. If there's anyone else that we know, so just allow yourself to notice where you're feeling that information, and then we're going to work on the first one, rejection. Okay, so I know, and you can see which spiritual father feels comfortable for you. So you can connect with whatever spiritual father of your choice, and also with the light of the calligraphy. Okay, so everyone, you can just also connect, receive the positive information going to you as I'm writing, and also just feel that light of your spiritual father, the Tao calligraphy that I'm writing. Okay, so I'm going to write Da. You can also connect and write Da'ai for yourself, greatest love. Okay, so you're going to offer yourself that positive message. Okay, so this is for Asha. Okay, so this is one of my higher writing power that I'm going to connect with for you for Asha. Greatest love to help with bringing in positive information to help Asha with the paternal wound. I'm gonna just do rejection since you're working on that one now. With Da'ai. That's receive. Greatest love, Da'ai. I'm just gonna see if you can see that. No time version. Greatest love. Just continue. So just you can those of you can trace along with me. Support Asha and also for your own support of the message of greatest love. And think about each of the strokes, rewriting, clearing the negative information that you're carrying, bringing light. So even though the ink or the water is dark, imagine though that this beautiful golden light radiating to Asha, supporting her, transforming the negative wound message, paternal line message for her. Now, so just allow yourself to relax and receive. Notice where in your body that you were maybe holding that negative information, and imagine this light, greatest love, unconditional love, melts all blockages, purifies your heart and soul. Greatest love, Da'ai, greatest love, unconditional love, melts all blockages, purifies your heart and soul. So others you can trace and also try to write as well. If you want to do your own writing for yourself, many of you may have learned how to write greatest love. If not, maybe you learn how to write Da, and this you can just write the first character here like Da. Greatest. That represents greatest love. And other of the 10 greatest qualities. a little bit more. We're just getting greatest love and just see the light of greatest love melting the blockages, transforming any wound message, right? To worthiness, that you're loved, protected, supported, unconditional love. That you're loved unconditionally. I'm getting one more time. Feel greatest love. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So Asha, just kind of relax. I wanted to see if there's anyone who maybe received any information from that. And Asha, if you don't mind sharing what you may have experienced, I know your spiritual channels are open. And if you don't mind me sharing, is your father, your current father, he's is he still? Mhm.
Hi, Laurie.
Hi.
So no, he actually passed away
Yeah.
6 years ago unexpectedly when he was young, 60 years old only.
Yeah.
So this was I, I I just felt love in my heart. I went back to the safety um feelings that I used to have, and maybe just like um feelings of not having that support or not being worthy because of not having that support when I was younger, because he had to move to a different country when we were
Mhm.
young, and so like so
Mhm.
there was a lot with that, but it gave me the peace that he did the best he could with
Yeah.
what he had. Like his
Mhm.
heart was good and he did the best he could. So I am truly grateful. Thank you.
Oh, wonderful. Thank you for sharing that. Do you mind if I share what came when I was doing
Yes, please.
so I mean, I could feel the presence of, because I don't know what comes up when I'm doing this, but I could feel like your father and and that he was in the soul world. But I really did feel like his love coming through, and I did feel like he was also asking for forgiveness, that like that he couldn't do more, or if that there was any wounds that you had because of him, asking for forgiveness. So it was a very loving and beautiful interaction that came through. I could feel the warmth of his heart for you. So I just wanted to share that because that was very beautiful coming in. So thank you so much, Asha, for being the demo for this one. And this is just one example of how Tao Calligraphy can support you. What I did was a specific type of blessing, a Tao Calligraphy writing blessing with an authority I have. But we also have other ways that you can do it for yourself, right? So we mentioned how the calligraphies are in the book, and you can, use these calligraphies. But we do have a high level field. So we will all get a chance to practice in the field. So we have this calligraphy in the book. You can, of course, connect with your spiritual father to help support you with that love. And the Tao calligraphy field, some of you are familiar with it, but for those of you who are new, Dr. and Master Shah, who is a creator and founder of Tao Calligraphies, he has created these Tao calligraphy fields around the world. And there's different types of field. The one that we have is a bit rare and not as many around the world yet. And it contains some of his most advanced calligraphies. And each of the calligraphies carries a unique purpose and potential, but all of the calligraphies can be applied generally, and as they all carry the high frequency field of positive information, energy, and matter. So for those of you really working on your wounds, you resonated with maybe a wound and certain feelings, whether the rejection and the feelings of unworthiness or lack of safety or feeling unsupported or having anger issues, we can use this calligraphy and the field that it creates, because a lot of times the field are created with one or more calligraphies, creating this vibrational field. And for those of you who came in with a health concern or some pain, discomfort, you can apply this to your area. Okay, so it can be used for all types, health, emotional health, mental health, finances, relationships, and more. Okay, wounds are carrying. So what we're going to do is use the Tao Calligraphy field as well as our paternal line healing. So similar like we did before, connect again with the spiritual father of your choice. It could be one of the ones that we've mentioned today or another one that came in. In our workshop, we will have a bit more spiritual fathers that we will share information on and that you can connect with. And we're going to connect for today's class with Greatest Love. I introduced Greatest Love as I wrote it. And we're going to trace, and you're going to imagine the light and blessings radiating to you to heal a paternal line wound. But if you are just like not feeling well today, and not really connected with the wound message yet, you don't know which one, you can do the rejection one that we worked on, or you can work on whatever health area. And know that the Tao Calligraphy field carries all of these 10 greatest qualities. We talked about greatest love, forgiveness, compassion, light, but it also has these wonderful qualities of humility, greatest harmony, greatest flourishing, greatest gratitude, greatest service, and greatest enlightenment. And all of these qualities are in each calligraphy. So even though we are working with greatest love, all of these qualities come through. So for example, when I was writing Greatest Love, the message of greatest forgiveness was coming through. So I was silently in my head offering greatest forgiveness on behalf of, Asha and Father. I could feel his forgiveness coming through. So any one of these you may also resonate and feel them, okay? Okay, so let me see. I'm going to go right to the Da'ai, okay? So this one is Greatest Love, the message of love melts all blockages. So think about your wound. Imagine that the greatest love message, Da'ai, is helping to heal the wound. It's melting away some of the negative information there and blockages, and maybe providing the soothing light to help heal and allow yourself to feel peaceful. And think about the message. So if you're doing the wound, like for example, the rejection message may make us feel unworthy, that we're not being supported because we've been rejected, we're not loved, right? So allow this message to really reinforce instead that you are loved unconditionally. And you can allow the light of the spiritual father's love to come through. Okay, because we may have had the best father, we may have had, challenges with our father, but we may have had wonderful fathers, and their love is very, very powerful, as you can feel. I could feel it coming through. And just think about that power of parents' love. Some of us were able to feel it, but some of us not. But a spiritual father's love is always there, and we can feel it. So again, you can connect with the spiritual father of your choice. And it could be like, we think of Mother Earth and like the heavenly, the sky, or as being the father, right? So you can, or nature, right? Or I know it's Mother Nature, but you could still have spiritual fathers connected with different information. So whatever you feel comfortable with. And we're also going to connect with the Tao Calligraphy field. Okay, so you can trace it 3 times. So we're just going to say, dear the Tao Calligraphy field, dear our spiritual father, your choice. We love you, honor you, and appreciate you. Please bless our request. So think about your request. Where are you feeling it in your body? And imagine that this light is radiating out. For those of you who are not quite sure how to trace, just imagine that this message, this field, this Tao Calligraphy that we have experienced carries high frequency vibration, because Dr. and Master Sha, the creator of these, is a high level spiritual servant and being. He has trained and has many credentials as a Grand Master in many ancient arts. He's by training, or is trained as an MD in Western medicine as well as traditional Chinese medicine, and carries a lot of power. So he is able to connect with the Tao source and pour in this positive information into the calligraphies when he writes them. And so we are honored to have had the authorities to connect with them. And so allow that light and this message to radiate to you. So imagine this pure positive energy coming through. You may want to trace the circle. This is a very special high-level calligraphy, so we usually trace the circle about 3 times. And thinking about the highest source, or you could think about your spiritual father, connecting with the love of your spiritual father. Okay? And then the message of greatest love. So you can think about the greatest love from that spiritual father, the source. Okay, so this is the greatest. And I love, unconditional love. Sacred message is that love melts all blockages. So imagine the pain, the discomfort, the emotional wound, negative patterns or messages that we've held, like not feeling worthy, is being transformed to feeling that you are most loved, protected, supported, that you are inherently worthy, right? And imagine that message just radiating in. Again, feeling loved, protected, supported, greatest love. Okay. So if you're feeling the wound within yourself, just allow yourself to imagine the light of the field coming in, tracing. If you're not comfortable tracing, just meditate. You can close your eyes if that feels safe to do so. And just imagine that the positive information of greatest unconditional love is radiating to you. Okay? You can imagine it from the field. You can imagine it from your spiritual father. You can imagine it from both. It could also be your paternal ancestral line, your important ancestors from your paternal line also supporting you. And bringing in that light. And you can trace with your 5 fingers, just like I was holding the brush with my hand and my fingers and tracing. You can also trace, for those of you who are more experienced, with your lower abdominal, your what we call our lower dantian, and a fist-sized energy center in our lower abdomen area. And allow yourself to imagine this ball of light, and you can imagine that It's you're moving and tracing from that space. Okay, so that is a more advanced and a high level way of tracing. But if you're not familiar, don't worry. You just sitting in front of the calligraphy and just imagining the light is radiating into your body to where you're holding any negative information. Some of you may be suffering from congestion. Imagine that light is coming up, clearing. And you can also mention that, hey, if it is connected to a wound message like sadness or grief, that it is also healing that as well, right? So just know that a lot of times our physical discomfort and pain and challenges may be connected to other subconscious wound messages that we may or may not be aware of. They may be coming from a paternal line that we may not be aware of. So this is the opportunity that we have to heal and transform those messages. Make some subconscious messages more conscious, so we can heal and transform. You know, and I was actually, well, I'll share later. So just greatest love, unconditional love. Greatest love, unconditional love. Right. Continue to feel that frequency and vibration of greatest love, unconditional love. Allow yourself to engage your senses. So you can imagine the light coming in through your eyes, even if your eyes are open or closed. Imagine that it's coming into the pores of your skin. Like imagine like you're feeling it through touch, the pure positive light. Imagine that beautiful, soft quality of greatest love coming in. Connect with that message. Greatest love, unconditional love. So see, sight, feel, even sense. If you can imagine the scent or fragrance, what would you associate the greatest love fragrance? Could be also associated with spiritual fathers. It might carry different scents and fragrances that you might connect with that makes you feel safe, comfortable, unconditionally loved. Whether it's like a floral scent, a woodsy scent, a comforting scent. Allow yourself to imagine that sense of love and comfort coming in. Allow yourself to feel that frequency, vibration, and light. Some of you may even connect it with a certain taste, and you might feel liquid in your mouth developing. For us, those who are experienced or advanced students may know some of the wisdom of having a moist mouth. The moisture in your mouth is like heaven's sacred liquid, Mother Earth's sacred liquid. And if you're receiving that, that's a good sign of getting that spiritual nourishment. You imagine this, that gold liquid, and you can swallow it if you have it to your lower abdomen. This is one of the sacred teachings Master Shah has shared. Don't worry if you don't have it, but as you continue to connect with the field and go deeper, you might feel that healing and that liquid coming in, sign of connection. Good. Now allow yourself to just finish up your tracing. You can end, and if when you end at the bottom, just going back up to the top and in there. Okay. And then just check into your body, noticing how your body is feeling. And if anybody wants to share, allow yourself to share that information. Wonderful. How are you folks doing? And I did want to. Anybody wanting to share? Okay. So we are having, hopefully, maybe even if you write, give some thumbs up, or you're feeling calmer. How many of you feeling calmer? You can raise your hand. Or feeling more information coming out, right? A lot of times, if you are feeling, sometimes this activates a cleansing, because greatest love melts all blockages, purifies, enlightens soul, heart, and mind, right? So in that process, clearing can come out. If you do it long enough in the field, you might feel a sense of relief. But if you're still feeling it, you might still be in the process of clearing that information. So let me go over some next steps that you can do to support yourself to help you go to the next level. We usually have some services. Because of time, I'm not able to demonstrate some of the blessings and services that we do have. Again, these are some of the calligraphy that we have in the field, but you can join our Tao Calligraphy field sessions with our calligraphies to help you bring in that frequency, vibration, and light, and your body's frequency, vibration kind of rises and expands to those of the calligraphies that can make you feel lighter and brighter, happier and healthier. And I can introduce the Tao light transmissions. I apologize, I'm not demonstrating. Some of you may have already had these, but these are these high level transmissions that carry these powerful messages that, again, go within our bodies that we can feel. We can use it in everyday life. And you are able to receive them. If you feel like you need that more support, that's one way that you can receive. We do actually have a special opportunity coming up in our Honoring Father's Special Blessing sessions. That is on Saturday, the 21st. Thank you, Brittany, for mentioning it there. We have a special that if you register for yourself and 2 others, you will receive a soul reading of your spiritual father guide, for example, if it's Jesus, Kane or Kanaloa, Shakyamuni Buddha, and then we have others, as well as a paternal line strength that your family line has carried on. So you get an opportunity to read that for yourself. And we're also going to have like a sacred ceremony in that session and Tao Calligraphy light filled blessings to heal that paternal line wound. And we also have another specialist not here that with the Tao light transmission and another special blessing to help further help healing that wound or enhance the strength, depending what you would like. So this is some of the offerings that you get with a special package that it will be offered at the event. But I think we've offered it to others as well. Like for those of you here, you can still receive that soul reading and blessing. I believe you do get a discount if you also register for that. And some of these are additionally read, where you get the blessing to heal and the initial action plan, written action plan to work with your spiritual father and transform wound and enhance strength message. And we did this to the paternal line. So I was wondering if there is, I don't know if Brittany is still here or wanted to maybe share her experience with the. Okay, great. Do you have time to?
Yeah.
Okay, wonderful.
So I was able to receive. Oh, sorry, it's a little dark. I'm in the car. I was just driving. But yes, I was able to receive for the maternal line, the strength and the area that can be strengthened. And I felt like I did notice that those are things that I kind of already had an inkling of, but I wasn't really paying attention to. So it really helped to bring those things kind of to the surface to be focused on more. And I did notice shifts in all of my relationships, especially like with my mom and my sister, my immediate female family, even my daughters and granddaughter. So I really think that having that information it felt very empowering. One, to connect more deeply to my lineage and kind of honor all the things that they have experienced and already done so far for us. And I can really see kind of reflecting like how that has carried through all of us, those positive traits and the areas where we can still improve. And then I really could feel how me working on this will deeply and positively impact like my kids and my grandkids and even like my nieces and nephews and my sister and different things like that. So I really felt that it was super beneficial. And the spiritual mother that I connected with is not someone I generally connect with. So that's also been helpful because that gave me some insight into some conscious and subconscious things that I was carrying around those souls, and that has also helped me to kind of move forward and heal more and go more deeply into that. So I thought it was amazing. I'm very excited for the Father's Day one, and I will have all of the men in my life participating.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Brittany, for sharing. That was wonderful. You know, I had a similar one for myself too, because I did it for myself as well. And connected to a spiritual mother that I didn't was really conscious of. But now when I connect, I mean, I can feel so much light and transformation. And I was feeling the power of this upcoming Father's Day, or the, you know, honoring the paternal line and the spiritual fathers. Because as I was preparing for this session today, as well as we're preparing for that special blessing and workshop, I could feel the spiritual fathers coming in, and it was very powerful and empowering. And it was a different feel than the maternal line. So having both the yin and the yang is very empowering and provides that balance and that strength. So I'm actually very excited. And I got some messages even for myself about how certain patterns in my life that I was asking about were affected by some paternal line messages. So I'm very excited as well for the ceremony, the honoring ceremony, as well as the readings and blessings that's coming. So thank you everyone for joining today. Does anyone else have any questions that they wanted to share, or any other comments? And we would love your service and support, because these sessions are for you every Thursday. And if I would love to know if you do like getting some little information about different areas, or if you prefer just like come in with what you have, right? And just have like the general introduction to what the field is and calligraphy, and work on some of the present issues that you have. So any feedback of that sort can be very helpful for us, and we'd love to tailor it or support with, you know, some of the things that you're going through. So giving feedback, we do have an evaluation form that you can give us feedback on, you know, informally. And also when you give that feedback, you have the opportunity to be in our monthly lucky draw. And in that lucky draw, you get to receive, you know, a special service that can also help you in, you know, one area of life or your choice. So that's another additional, you know, gift for you, for those of you who serve us, by offering your opinions and your sharings. Also, if there's any good stories that you have of how things have supported you and inspiring you, really appreciate that. Okay, so there is the link if you need that link. I think it's not really.
I have the link, but I can't. It says chat is disabled. I could post it here. But
oh, that's interesting. How do we enable the chat?
It was working before, so I'm not sure what.
Yeah. So I'm not sure. Oh, okay, everyone there. I think it might be working now. Is it working?
Yes.
Okay.
Mhm.
Great. So something happened. Okay. So yeah, so the chat, so Brittany will post on the chat for that. Thank you so much to give feedback. Of course, you can give it to us informally too if you have any suggestions for the future. And also the honoring fathers, if you cannot join live, we will have a recording, but it is going to be on a very special day. It's going to be on the 21st. 21st is summer solstice. Summer solstice, longest day of the year. It's very powerful, a lot of young masculine energy. It's particularly near to me because it is my anniversary as well, wedding anniversary. So a lot of special, energies around that day. So I hope that you can join us, and also honor for loved ones, whether they can come or not, they get to receive that blessing. So thank you again, Brittany, for sharing that information and sharing how you feel. Thank you, Asha, for being the demo for the Tao Calligraphy writing. And if there's anyone else would like to share, we welcome you to do so. But I do want to say my goodbyes. So I will just stop the recording for the video. So thank you all for joining, and then I can say my goodbyes.